Hi everyone, Gordon here, and I'm just at the van doing a few things, getting ready for our next trip at the end of the month. Now, for those of you that follow our community posts, you know that we've had some challenges in the last little while with regard to our water pressure in the van. And we went through a number of steps and ultimately ended up changing out the water pump itself. So we thought it might be of interest to just show you some of the things that we did, or talk about some of the things that we did, and talk about changing out our water pump. So I hope you find the following video of interest.
We had some problems earlier this year. When I dewinterized, I had like an airlock in the line. I could get the antifreeze out and water going through, but it just wasn't, the pressure was like a third of what it should be. So wasn't too sure what to do. So kind of worked through the list, and it looked like, it must be the water pump had worn out. But as you know, if you've watched our channel before, I'm not the most handy guy. So I reached out to my friend Pete. And you may remember Pete and Alex, who are visiting us here. We're actually right now at Green Point at Pacific Rim National Park. And I reached out to Pete, and he kindly offered to help me. I'll just straight help me put the new water pump in. And so I went out to their home. They have a property with lots of space, and they've got a work area. And we decided to replace the water pump. And I'm being generous when I say we, because Pete did pretty much all the work, and I watched and learned. So thank you very much, Pete.
Oh, you're welcome. It's kind of a one-person job because there's not really room for two people in a cupboard.
That's right. So where the water pump is in the Roadtrek, it's actually in what's called the pot drawer. It's a great big drawer underneath the refrigerator, and you can remove the drawer. And once you've done that, then it's actually fairly easy to get at it.
Oh, the access is pretty good once the door's out, yeah.
So we looked at it, and we looked at the existing pump. Our friend Steve and Darlene had spotted one for sale at a good price. The only issues that we were, or at least a little bit concerned about, was just to make sure that the new pump would fit, but it looked pretty much like the exact same old pump, same model, everything. We were going to have to cut the existing wiring and then connect the new pump, but there's just like a black and white wire, or sorry, a black and red wire.
Yeah, it's 12 volts, so it's black to black and red to red when you're replacing it. Yeah, and I think the model number has one letter different from the factory pump that goes in the van to anything you buy after as a replacement. It's just I think it's an A and one's an E, but it's the same pump.
Yeah, so it worked fairly well. So we got to Pete's place. Pete was kind enough to pretty much do all the work, and I watched and learned. So maybe just run through it kind of quickly, Pete, what you remember.
Oh yeah, well we cut the power, of course. Of course, you turn the power off.
Yes.
At the fuse panel or wherever you do it in the Zion, and then we clip the wires, the red and the black, and then there's just 4 screws, because it mounts directly to the metal of the van.
Yes, there's a bracket.
And it's got a nice rubber mount that comes as part of the pump, so that helps absorb some noise. And then we just take it out, and you clip the factory wire connector off and use butt connectors to connect it to the new pump. And then you just screw it back on the wall and clip red to red and black to black. We have to deal with the water in and out as well. So there's the hoses. Your hose kit that you bought, the silencer kit, came with adapters for the PEX that was in there. And it was very nicely organized for us.
Steve also suggested that I get the silencing hoses, which are 2 hoses that are about this long. It just makes the water pump quite a bit quieter because it is kind of loud in the van.
It's just a matter of a little bit of Teflon on the threads and connect it up.
Yeah, it worked really well. I mean, I think we generously got the pump in and everything in place in well under an hour.
Yeah, it didn't take too long, really.
Yeah, and the kits themselves, like the pump was on sale for, I think it was about $110.
That's a really good price.
Yeah, it was good. And then the silencing kit was something like $35. So, and it does work. It's quite a bit quieter. I don't know, maybe 40% quieter than previously once it was all done. And by the way, one of the things that Pete checked was just to make sure that we actually had power. So, we connected it, turned on the power in the van just to make sure that yes, there was adequate power going to the existing pump and the new pump. So that all worked. So we turned it on, and I was looking forward to seeing a high level of water pressure, but sadly it didn't work. It was pretty much the same as before.
Yeah, it was sputtering, so I guess you've got some air in the line somewhere.
And we just honestly couldn't figure out where. I had tried everything at least 2 times prior to coming to see Pete. And then, where we were there, we again ran water through the city water connector. That was fine. There didn't appear to be air in any of the main lines. It was only when we went through the water pump side that was a problem. We tried opening, every valve at the same time, then one at a time. And there's a number of drain valves and, of course, the different faucets inside. Our friend Steve was on the phone coaching us along, making sure we tried different things. And we had literally no success. So finally, at the end, we decided to park on a hill. What was maybe about a 15 degree?
It's a good 15%, that spot.
Yeah. With the nose up front. And I think we tried it once, again, kind of just cycled everything. And then one more time, and literally I could hear just a slight change in the pitch of the motor or the pump, and then we had water pressure, and it worked quite well. So all in all, I think it took us, well, we had an hour for lunch, but it took us probably 4 to 5 hours to finally get it to work properly. And I've read in some of the forums that if that does happen, it can be kind of the Zion can be a bit of a beast to get the pump primed and the water working again.
So when we were on the slope, we had the lowest drain at the back open, didn't we?
I think we tried everything at one point. And frankly, what seemed to help, we were using long flushes on the toilet because the toilet's closest to the front water tank. There's actually 2 water tanks in a Zion, one right behind the driver's seat and then one farther back underneath the van. And I think the toilet tends to be the closest to where the water pump is. And we tried long flushes, like 6-8 second flushes, maybe longer, maybe 15-second flushes. And that seemed to help a little. And then I think the final thing was I opened the kitchen faucet just a little, and we got some air sputtering, and then everything caught.
For clarity, here's the troubleshooting steps that I walked through or that I walked through with Pete. And sometimes we did these more than once. First was to ensure that there was enough water in the freshwater tank. Second was to run the water pump, see if it could build up some water pressure in a few minutes. Third was opening the faucets. We tried one at a time, including the external shower, and also flushing the toilet several times. Step 4 was basically step 3, but with the van on a slope with the front end higher. 5 was checking for leaks, so we looked for leaks in the water line or in the pump area, anywhere that might be pulling in air. 6 was turning off the water pump and connecting to city water, and we opened all the faucets to let any air escape as the water flowed. 7 was checking for blockages, so we checked the pump filter for any debris that might be restricting any water flow. And last was verifying the power supply, so making sure that the pump was receiving enough power. And after we'd gone through this checklist, the only conclusion that we could come to was that our water pump wasn't working properly and it would need to be replaced.
Effectively, we've got a spare water pump. Yes, it's used, but I think it runs perfectly fine. So I'll keep that in the event that we ever have a problem with this one. Thanks again go to Pete and Alex for the patience to help me learn a little and to make some changes. So thanks again.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And all I can say is, what's next? Look at the pause in his face.
Oh, you wanted to put a latch on the...
Yeah, we have a couple of things. I'm not sure. I want to put a latch on the side door where our sewer door is because it's never looked particularly secure. It's always stayed in place. So I've bought the materials, just have to do a little drilling for that. And then the other thing that's on the list that I'll probably take a look at is macerator. Our macerator stopped working. So I'm going to just check it for an obstruction, and honestly, if there doesn't appear to be anything there, it'll probably have to be taken into a dealer and just have the motor in there replaced, which I think is fairly straightforward. So anyway, thanks again, Pete.
Oh, you're very welcome, Gordon.
Well, I hope you found the video of Pete and I working through the water pressure issue and then changing out the water pump of interest. If you did, please make sure you give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And Finch, Mickey, and I will see you next time. And we'll close out today with just some more video from Pacific Rim National Park. Such a special place.